Right now we're at CSU's Horticulture Center. This building is a facility that was recently built and it houses a lot of the horticultural research here on campus. My name is Sheila Prentice and I'm a master's student in horticulture here at CSU, and I'm the coordinator for the annual trial gardens. Right now what we're doing is growing all of the plants. What we do is we get these plants in as tiny little plugs and we pot them up into larger pots here, and then we grow those out for a couple of weeks, and then we will take them outside and we will plant them outside at the trial gardens and grow them out for the season there. I have 3 employees that work under me as my undergraduate team. They're paid by the hour to essentially help out with these gardens, and I depend on them to do all of the basic labor that's involved. It is a lot of weeding and deadheading and doing kind of those tasks to make sure everything looks good, so I really do depend on their help.
I'm with the annual trial gardens and I'm working on taking the flowers off of these geraniums. We're removing the flowers because we want to promote more vegetative growth and root growth instead of putting all their energy into growing flowers. So you just grab a flower and take it down to the bottom, and then any flower petals that are starting to come up, take them off because they'll just grow into flowers anyway. Kind of saves a extra step coming back through, but this will help promote growth for these to get a lot bigger before we put them out in the actual trial garden. This is actually my first time working at the trial garden, so I'm really excited. I've seen it before, but I haven't actually been able to work on it. And actually I've only seen it in pictures, so I'm really excited to see how all of it will look in person.
The Trial Gardens is a research garden. It functions in outreach and research and also education. So what we do is we work with different breeding companies, plant breeding companies across the world, and they send us different varieties that they want to trial here in our climate. So basically they're just trying to get an idea of how the plants perform in the Mountain West / Great Plains region here. They take the data that we collect at our gardens and they use it to decide whether or not they're going to sell these varieties of plants in Colorado, in Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, so pretty much everywhere in the surrounding area. We're the research garden that determines whether or not these plants actually perform well in our climate.
My name is Lauren Schreiner. I am a graduate student at CSU. What I do for the CSU Trial Gardens is, right now I am just helping out as a second hand. I also coordinate the cool season trials that are currently going on. Those start in October and go all the way through May. So I have plants outside in the ground. I coordinated the annuals last season, and then I also coordinated the perennials the year before. I have experience, so I'm here as guidance. Right now, to help, I'm watering. I've been doing a lot of watering. The plugs, when we plant them in the soil, we have to water them 3 or 4 times in one single container to get it to soak all the way through. So I water that, and then I've been watering everything else that's here prior to that. And it's just beneficial, not only to me, but it also beneficial to, like Sheila, to just have somebody else that knows a little bit more and has more experience doing it, so that when they come up with a question, it's not just like, oh, well, I don't know what to do. They can be like, oh, I can go to Lauren and she'll have some type of idea of, or some way to help me. So that's, I think, my biggest thing too, is I really like to provide like the knowledge that I have and the experience I have to help them out.
I think the thing I'm probably the most excited for is just to see these plants grow. These are annual plants, so they only really survive for 1 season here in Colorado, which means they grow really fast, and a lot of them are very, very gorgeous. So they're going to put on a bunch of size, and I'm just excited to see how they turn out.